Hello, hello, hello. I'm Lady Luke, the baby boomer babe, coming to you live on Facebook and YouTube. Our show is Wisdom Chat for the Curious. And right now we're doing a series that's connected with the Wellness Expo that will be here in the Houston area in September. It got moved from May, unfortunately, but we know why. So we're going to have it in September. And our guest today, Joy Kauf, is from the Dallas area, but she will be at the Wellness Expo in September. And we're so excited to know her today. So let me introduce everyone here on the screen. Of course, there's our Marion LaSalle, our Chief Executive Officer and Technology Lady. Say hi, Marion.
Technologist, there you go.
She does it all. We love her. And then we have Peggy Sue Skipper. She's going to be the MC at the Wellness Expo in September, and we're excited about that. Say hi, Peggy.
Hi. Yes, I'm excited about that too. Looking forward to it. Labor Day weekend.
It's going to be fun. And then our special guest is Joy Kauf. Joy, say hello.
Hi.
Joy, we're so tickled to have you today. Why don't you tell our audience a little bit about you, who you are, what you do, and all that fun stuff?
So my background is I actually came out of corporate America. It's going to be 15 years, believe it or not, this year. I used to be a vice president of Citi, quit my job and decided to open up a metaphysical store in Lewisville, Texas, which is just north of Dallas. So it's been a sort of a real, I want to say, career change for me. If you ask me why I decided to do this, this is something I said I always wanted to do when I retired. Spirit decided it was time for me to do it at that particular time. It was driving me crazy for about a year, waking me up, telling me it's, just time to quit my job. Mm-hmm. And it wasn't something I was really ready to do at that particular time, but I did. And that's when I realized that Spirit is always with us and always guiding us. When we're ready to quit our job or do something that we're guided to do, we don't really do it alone. That's when the miracles started to show up in my life, in my everyday life, especially at the store. We got to the point where if I said I needed something, within 2 days, it would just show up. It would walk in my front door.
Yay.
Woo, I love that. I love that. And we've already got our audience saying hello. Mary Mount was on there a minute ago.
Well, I have to, it's like a little bit of housekeeping, if you don't mind.
Go ahead.
If you're on Facebook and you want to say something to our guest on the screen and you want us to know who you are, you have to let StreamYard have permission because Facebook has its privacy issues tied up into it. So there's a little see more in the description on Facebook. Just click on that and give them permission for us to see who you are. Because I can see that it's Carolyn Gray, and I would love to bring you in, Carolyn, but I can't until you give us permission, okay?
Oh, Carolyn, hi. Yeah. It's very easy to do.
Excellent. Oh, there she goes. Okay.
Thank you, Marion. I appreciate that because we love to have the live comments. And Marion puts them up there with your name on them. You get a little exposure too.
There's Lauren. Hey, Lauren.
There's Lauren. Hi. She's up in Mesquite.
That's right. I have friends all over Dallas.
You sure do.
Oh, that's great. Well, Marion, have you got some questions for Joy?
I am very excited to not only meet you and find out more information about you, but to really explore a little bit more about how you're serving the world. Okay. Because I know you've been with the Wellness Expo for a long time and you understand what the needs are right now, not just right now, but all the time. Right. And I know you're in tune with it. So I'm excited to hear some of the opportunities that you are being given right now to share your talents. Can you tell us a little bit about that?
I sure can. One of the things that I have out on my website is I do a lot of, I want to call free webinars. And what I mean by free is I'll have, like, if I get a lot of people that walk into my store and say, oh, I need to learn more about protection, or I need to understand protection, I'll do a little webinar on how to protect yourself, how to clear your energy field, how to clear your crystals. So part of it is I sort of let spirit guide me on that. And what I mean is, if you have a storefront and people walk in and you see this sort of common denominator among the people that are walking in the front door, it's like, wow, this is what people need at this particular time. One of my, if you ask me, what is my passion? My biggest passion is for everyone to know that they're connected to spirit and that spirit is talking to them all the time. The difference is we have a tendency of being more in our ego, and our ego has a tendency of living in the past and the future, but never in the present moment. So when we're not staying focused on the present moment, we're not getting the signs from spirit where they're trying to guide us. And I have a little story about that. When I first opened up the store, when I will say, I used to be really stubborn, you know. And I didn't always listen to the messages that spirit was giving me. And there was like, I opened up the store and I thought I threw all my files away that I needed to run my business. And I never forget this time, I'm asking at the time my guide, who was Sun Eagle, and I said, Sun Eagle, where are my file folders? And I literally, that little quiet voice, it's not like you hear it outside of yourself. It is that voice that you hear sometimes in your own head. And he said, clear as day, I heard, they're in your black bag. And I'm like, there's no way they're in my black bag. I knew I had them in a box. They're not there. So I asked 3 times that day. And on the 3rd time I heard, it's in your black bag. I pick up the black bag. There's all the file folders that I was looking for. So part of it is spirit talks to us all the time. We get messages all the time. It just has a language. And some people say, well, what if I can't hear my spirit guides? I'll ask them, what signs are showing up for you? What animals are showing up for you? What numbers are showing up for you? And I will make recommendations to go get, an animal guidebook that lets you know what the animals mean. And I'll have, when I would tell people, I said, start asking your guides to send you some messages. And I'll have someone say, well, I had a fox show up 3 times. I said, really? Are foxes come into your area?
Oh, well.
So it's talking about, it's easy to start building a language with your guides and your angels. And then I will have people say, well, what if I don't know what if I don't know my guide's name? Well, you don't have to know it. There's nothing wrong with just saying, okay, guys, give me a hand here. Here's what's going on in my life right now. I need some answers to this problem. And then I tell people, sometimes what has you so stressed, one of the things that I try to explain is, I will go teach a channeling class, but I still run a business. So that day I could have the air conditioner broke, the internet goes down, this happens, that happens, this happens. And it's just one of those days where everything is falling down, it is going in the wrong direction. And when I sit in that seat to start channeling, the first thought that pops into my head from my ego is, how are you going to do this? Look at the mood that you're in.
Oh.
Because sometimes we think when we're in fear or upset or angry or frustrated that we can't connect to spirit. And that's not a true statement. There's not a time that I don't sit in that seat where I'm in the present moment. I let all that go. I allow spirit to merge with me in that class for me to be able to guide the people that are in front of me. And at the end of the class, you know what? The air conditioner break, it wasn't a big deal. the internet going down, it starts to end up not being as big of a deal when we get into that present moment. And it kind of lets those human things go away. And one of the lessons that I try to teach to anyone that sits in one of my classes is, I don't know how to break it to you, but chaos happens. Chaos is going to happen in any human being's life. That's kind of part of the human experience. What makes people, really connected to spirit or closer to spirit is chaos happens and we don't allow it to rock us.
That's right.
We don't allow it to pull us off our path.
True. Well, Joy, for some folks who may not really have ever heard the word spirit used in this connotation, would intuition, what other words would help people to understand what spirit is?
Okay, from where I sit, spirit is God, goddess. It's really a label that we want to put on how we were raised. If you were raised in any kind of a religious background, you may say spirit is Jesus. You may say spirit is Mother Mary. You may say spirit is Buddha. It represents what is that thing that connects us to the all that is. From where I sit, whether you want to call it God, the universe, the all that is, it is that invisible force that is in each and every one of us. Like we have.
Well, I want everybody to be able to tell their story about how this relates to them. So
Okay.
I'll start. I have a fantastic story of a time when someone told me to go to a labyrinth. And they said, okay, to stop at the beginning of the labyrinth, close your eyes, ask your question, open your eyes, and then don't think about the answer. Just walk the labyrinth. And when you come out, close your eyes again and ask for the answer. So I heard, just like you said earlier, I heard plain as day. It was my voice. I'm not telling you I was hearing a voice from somewhere. It was me, but it must have been my higher self or something like that, because I heard, stay on the path of what feels good. And that was exactly what I needed to hear. It was plain as day. And I thought, oh my goodness, I literally can find a labyrinth anywhere, right? I'm sure I could do it other ways. I could seek out someone like you who could help me, or I could find a labyrinth, or I could find other ways to get these messages from our higher self or Buddha or whatever.
Right.
How about you, Peggy Sue? I know you have one.
Oh, all the time. It's almost the way I look at it is, and I was talking to somebody about this today when they were talking about all the prayers that people are doing, and it's such a wonderful thing that people are
pray.
getting together that way. But in my knowing, every thought, word, and action is prayer. Every thought, word, and action is prayer. So we're in that all the time, 24/7. And the more we can be conscious of our words and our actions, then the better things we create for ourselves, if that makes sense.
Oh, yeah.
So yeah, I mean, I'd be lost without that voice,
And do you hear your voice? Or do you hear a different voice?
No, I shouldn't say I hear it at all.
Oh, I heard mine.
I have heard voices.
I knew it. Say.
But normally it's just kind of a knowing that drops in.
Right.
That's the best way. It's just a knowing that drops in.
Yeah.
But Joy is absolutely correct. When you have to be very present in the moment with the situation without being in fear of it. Or I do anyway. That's my formula. So
right.
So
Louise, how about you?
Well, mine, like Peggy Sue said, is more of a knowing. I don't recollect any particular instance where I've heard my voice or any other voice, but I know I hear things. And a funny story was back when I lived in Houston, I used to put birdseed out on my picnic table the night before so that the doves and the squirrels could come and eat early in the morning, because that's when they feed. And there was this little squirrel running around, a small one in my yard, and he'd been there a while, and we'd become pals. I called him Little One, didn't know what his name was. And so I turned to go back into the house that evening. It was still daylight. And I heard in my voice, or in a voice, I don't know, remember it was mine or anything, but it was the words, "My name is Bob." It was the squirrel telling me his name. I've never had that
Okay.
happen before, but
Oh, that's
it
great.
just comes to you in different ways. Everybody's different,
Yeah,
and that's the beauty of it.
true.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, Peggy, have you got a question for Joy?
I do actually. Well, it's more just I know that you've been a part of the Dallas Wellness Expo for a number of years, which Felicia, we had Felicia on a couple of weeks ago to talk about why she's bringing it to Houston. We're really excited about that, and really excited about the fact that you and some other people from the Dallas area will be coming down to Houston for that. So people will get to meet you. Of course, you come down here quite a bit and work anyway, but it's going to be exciting to bring those two communities together.
Mhm.
So just share with us a little bit, what the Dallas Expo has been like for you as a vendor,
Okay.
and for people that go there, and what we can kind of expect to be coming to Houston.
I have to tell you, I have worked many fairs over the years, and the Wellness Expo is probably the most well run here in the Dallas area. You can tell that Felicia and Tony put their heart and soul into it, and it's like you can't even ask for anything that they haven't really thought of.
Awesome.
So from where I sit, there's so many. Why do I do the Wellness Expo for Miracles of Joy or myself? Right now at the Dallas one, I actually have 7 booths that I take out.
7?
7,
Oh my
because
gosh.
part of it is I have all these people that have started out as students at some point over their years at Miracles of Joy. And the next step for them is to step into doing psychic fairs and expos. And it's time for us as a community to support each other. So what I started to do is rent out space to people that have started out at Miracles of Joy. So there are a lot of the same people that work at our psychic fairs and teach classes and workshops and things like that. So we go in there. I started off with just one. And it has grown over the years. I can tell you that here in Dallas, they put almost 1,000 people through their expo
Wow.
here in the Dallas area. It has been mind-blowing of the different people that I get to meet. And what I mean by that is I get to meet other readers and healers, people who are teaching classes. You make this heart-to-heart connection with people. You want them to come into your store and teach classes and do workshops. So what they have really been able to do is pull a community together. It's a community of people that support each other and realize, there is enough for everyone to do this business. It never feels like, I don't know if you've been to psychic fairs where sometimes it feels a little bit competitive, not necessarily like a community. This feels like a community, and it's about people supporting each other. You get to do lectures and things of that nature. I just show up. As people go, what are you going to do? I'm going to show up. I'm going to do my aura photography, and that's what I'm planning on doing at the Wellness Expo in Houston. But I'm just there to meet other people and learn more about the community and where there's a place for people to be able to work out of. And I'm bringing 1, 2, 3, I think it's like 4 or 5 people from Dallas that work out of Miracles of Joy that I'm bringing to Houston. Because from where I sit, your next step is, why are you limiting yourself to Dallas? Houston's only 5 hours away. Why aren't you building a bigger following in other cities? So when Felicia told me she was doing Houston, I said, I'm there. What do you need me to do to help support you with this? I've been working out of Houston for about 8 or 9 years. I bring people that fly in the Miracles of Joy. They teach. They're more international type people. So we actually go and we work out of Spirit Quest in Old Town Spring that Chris and Ginger run. So
Right.
it's almost like let's get our communities all going in the right direction. And what I mean by that is, in order to, like I tell people, in order to change the world, if we want this world to become a higher vibration, if we want it to vibrate at a higher vibration, if we want it to hold the principles that we want, then as the community leaders of leading this and how to connect to spirit, it's about showing people how to do this. And, it's like, I think every person, I was talking to a gentleman who works out of my psychic fair, his name's Chuck. And I turn around and like I told Chuck, I said, wow, almost like 60 or 70% of my readers started off in your 0 to psychic class.
Terrific.
So we sort of have, I want to go career path for intuitives.
Hey, I love that. I love that.
Yeah.
That's great.
The Houston area used to be a lot more active in the metaphysical community. Back, 10 years ago, well, more than that, 20 years ago, we had lots of different events, monthly, weekly. We had different type of networking groups for the metaphysical people. And over the years, they just faded away. There wasn't any one person who was leading the things. And several of the people, unfortunately, passed away who were doing a lot of work in the metaphysical community. And we've just kind of gotten scattered. So having this Wellness Expo, I feel, is going to bring our community, the Houston area community of metaphysical folks, back into one. And then we can do more things together. And it just feels right. I'm very excited. Peggy, why don't you tell us where the location is that we're going to have the expo?
Well, it's in your backyard, Louise.
I know.
It's actually going to be at the Lone Star Convention Center, which is in Conroe.
Yes.
So it's a little north of Dallas, but that makes it real easier for the Dallas people to come in. It's a really nice convention center. I haven't actually been there. You've been there, right, Louise?
Oh, yes, many times. It's beautiful. Yeah. Lots of parking. But if it's raining, be careful because a lot of the parking is on grass.
Wear your galoshes.
Wear your galoshes.
But yeah,
but we're praying for sun.
From all I've heard, it's a great facility.
Yes.
I think Felicia is going to do a great job putting it together. I've so enjoyed connecting with her and working with her. So I'm really, really excited about this Wellness Expo coming to Houston. It's a shame that it's not going to happen in May like we originally planned, but things are what they are, so by the time September rolls around, we're all going to be really ready to get out and be around some people. So as was mentioned earlier, there are going to be speakers, there'll be vendors, all kinds of exciting things going on. So I'm just over the moon about it.
Me too. Well, Joy, you're one of the speakers, as I understand it, right?
Yes, I am.
And your topic is the power of connection. Can you give us a little brief overview of what that means?
I'm going to talk about what, I think what really happens is how I start my lecture off is I ask anyone, how many of you in this room have channeled? And you get this where maybe one hand goes up or two hands go up. And I always say, so let me talk to you about what is channeling. Channeling is a label that humanity gave something in order to explain it. I said, the truth of the matter is, how many of you have been in a situation where you've had a heart-to-heart connection, whether it's with a child, a coworker, a total stranger, all of your judgment gets pushed over to the side. All of a sudden, these words of wisdom just come into your head. You speak it to this person at that place of true, unconditional love and connectivity. And then turn around and I'll say, so how many of you have had that experience? All the hands go up. And I said, so that's channeling in a nutshell. That's what it is to me.
I love it.
It's about that connection, that one-on-one connection. We've all had those experiences, but we didn't know what that was. So then I talk a little bit about, there's I'll call it the old paradigm of channeling. And there's the new paradigm of channeling. And I said the old paradigm is when you had the person that would sit there, go in a trance state, would connect and give information to people in in the room. They come out, they don't know what it is. I said, our new paradigm, if we're really raising our vibration and this planet is raising their vibration, then I call myself a conscious channel. What does that mean? I am very aware that I have spirit merging with me and speaking to me to be able to give information to other people. We all have. We know what that feels like. It's when our heart chakra is open and we're not in that place of judgment in that moment. We're not judging ourselves. We're not judging the person across from us. We're just in that space. Well, when you're in that space and spirit can merge with you to help you help that person. Doesn't really matter who it is. I said the labels are really for us, like, who are you?
That is beautiful. Well, Marion, I know you've got another question. I can just feel it. I don't think that's channeling, that's intuition.
I can hardly stand it because Joy, her name fits her so well. It's infectious. She's just full of joy. It's so good to be around you. And I think this is one of the things that we're all craving so much. Our friends, we've got so used to being able to just hug our friends and be with our friends and feel that joy. And so it's taken us a while to try to wrap our minds and our bodies around all this separation. But I can feel it right here on Zoom. I can feel your joy coming right through the screen. So
Wonderful.
Thank you for bringing that to us and spreading that, joy around.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, I don't really have a question. It's just I just want to thank you for spreading the joy. And I got to tell you that my friend Peggy Sue Skipper, wave your hand, Peggy Sue. She is one of the first people that I met in the Houston area that turned me on to the curiosity things that were going on. So she used to have this group where she'd ask people to come together. And what was the exact name of it, Peggy?
The Consciously Curious.
Consciously Curious. And so naturally, when I did natural curiosity, she's like, well, Marion, that sounds like something I want to talk about. So I'm like, okay. So here I sucked her in. She sucked me in. I sucked her in. And, and it's just a joy to be around you ladies and feel this wonderful feeling. Thank you.
Oh, yeah, amen to that,
You're
Marion.
welcome. You're
that
welcome.
Is wonderful.
It's fun being able to share this.
Yes.
In a format where it can go out to a lot of different people so they can hear some of this and be able to say, well, I have people come in, well, can anyone do this? I said, were you born? And if the answer is yes, then yes, you can do this too.
Yeah, it's a matter of going within, and a lot of people don't understand that, but it's just going quiet within your mind. And most of us have that silly mind chatter that just keeps on talking wherever we are and whenever we're sitting quietly. The mind goes jab, 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 jab. And it's quieting that so that you can listen. That is the key. It's prayer, in my opinion.
Mm-hmm.
Prayer is pleading, begging, please God, I need this, I want that. That's prayer. But meditation and going quiet within is when you listen for that voice, for that spirit, for the intuition, for the knowing that can come in only when we're quiet within this mind.
I have something that Peggy Sue and Joy probably could both touch on if y'all don't mind. When we do start coming back together, and you talked about this when we first got on, Joy, about protecting yourself. Mm-hmm. So I'm a serious empath, okay? Mm-hmm. Like I can go into a grocery store and have a friggin' meltdown within minutes, and I didn't understand why at first. I thought I went in there just happy, and all of a sudden I just want to tear somebody's head off. I can't wait to get back up to the car and throw up. I mean, I'm serious. My feelings are so sensitive. It's almost, it's a shame, really. And over the years, I've had people teach me different techniques. Put plexiglass up, put a bubble around you, the pink light and the pink, I don't know, the clouds, whatever
Purple
technique
flame.
that they all have a different technique,
Right.
But I think most of us need some kind of protection. And I don't know if either one of you want to talk about that and discuss it, because I'm very sensitive, but most of us really need protection.
I have this simple trick that I talk to empaths about. And I said, the first thing you want to do is say, did anything happen to make me angry? And if the answer is no, then what immediately realize it's not your energy, it's someone else's.
Right.
So if it ends up being someone else's energy, then you just tell your guides, send this away. If this energy is not mine, send it away. If this energy is not mine, send it away. And you'll notice that you start to feel better. And when I one of my favorite things is telling people to hug a tree. And they're like, what? And I'm like, I mean, hug a tree. It's kind of like it helps you get in the present moment. Go find a tree and say, Mother Earth, take this energy, recycle it, and send it back to me as unconditional love. Mm-hmm. Mother Earth, take this energy, recycle it, and send it back to me as unconditional love. What that does is that really helps you to get back in the present moment. And don't try to control your ego. It will never work, no matter how much you try. What I tell people to do is I said, have you ever talked to your ego? And they're like, what? I'm like, really have a conversation and say, look, I know that you're trying to protect me in this moment. That is what your job is. I hear what you're saying. I'm okay. I got it. And what ends up happening is your ego's voice will get quieter and quieter because it was heard. It wasn't being stuffed. It wasn't being pushed over to the side. It wasn't being, suppressed. You acknowledge that all it's trying to do is protect you. And it's okay. I got this. I can handle this.
Oh, lovely, lovely. And Peggy Sue, how about you?
Well, actually, it's interesting that you should talk about that, Marion, because I went to the grocery store a few days ago. I don't go very often right now, obviously, but I had to pick up a few things. And honestly, the energy that was in the store.
I know. I was there today.
I'm pretty good. I'm pretty good at like shielding. I don't know. I don't consciously shield myself, but I don't pick up on that a lot that I know of. But this I really felt. Mm-hmm. And I just, my heart just went out to all the people that are in such fear, because there's a lot of that right now.
Right.
And so once I understood that I was picking this up, then once I got out of the store, I could kind of cleanse that. But I think it was kind of important for me to experience that, to understand that, people are in fear. And for good reason, that seemingly good reasons.
And anger, not just fear, anger. Like, I just went to the store tonight and I was protected. I had my mask on, I had my gloves on, everything. But there were other people that had nothing on. They were just laughing and coughing and talking on their phone like nothing was going on. And there were other people that were so mad at them for doing that. They were yelling at them and being rude and mean. And it was like, oh my God, I can't wait to get out of here. So anger and fear, right?
Yeah. But, one of the things I would like to just interject real quickly, because somebody said something about this earlier, about this time we're in. And, this is really a great time for us to do some inward work. And I think that's what it's all about. I mean, I got this strong message, feeling that all of this is happening. This whole pandemic is happening because the earth is saying, I need to take a breath.
I agree.
Please slow down, clear the air so I can take a breath. I can't support you if you continue to choke me.
Oh,
yeah.
And so it's like, if we can just all look at this isolation that we're going through as such a gift,
Oh,
to the
yes.
planet.
I agree.
That I think that's so important. And so I'll just throw that out there. And
Thank
Joy,
you.
I don't know. I'd like Joy's feedback on that because I
Before
know
you
that
do,
she's.
yeah, before you do that, we've got a couple of things in the audience.
Oh, good.
Karen is asking, do your family members participate in the Wellness Expo? And then she's asking, is it an indoor outdoor thing? And she says, hug a tree, climb a tree if able. Not enough people go outside their own circumference. Some of those fears can be rinsed taking a good walk.
And as far as do family members participate in the Wellness Expo, the answer to that question is my daughter and my son-in-law have participated at the Wellness Expo before. They make orgonite jewelry, so they've had their own vendor booth. That's what they do besides their daytime job. They've kind of gotten away. My daughter is also a reader as well, and she works the psychic fair at my store. So it is sort of a family thing.
Well, she used to work for you full time, didn't she, Joy?
She did work for me full time. She was my manager full time.
Yeah.
Nice.
She's a neat lady.
Well, we've all got so many things going right now. So I just believe a time for relaxation, a time for reflection. And like you say, this is what we're in right now. And instead of fearing it or being angry about it, let's do go within and see what's in there for each of us, because we'll all have different answers. And my answer is that I'm doing what I'm supposed to be doing. I'm sitting here on my little farmette, and I don't see anybody but my nephew and his family, which is fine. They're lovely people. And I don't, I've got my gate shut, so the delivery people with a sign that says, throw the packages over the gate. I'm not coming out. But it's something we just have to do right now. So make the most of it. It's a gift.
It is.
And Peggy Sue, to actually answer your question about what messages are you getting, if you will look at some of the news media that's coming out, is talking about how our air is clearer than it's ever been in the United States. And it's also saying that the earth is not vibrating like it was previously vibrating from all the traffic and all the noise pollution and all of that that's going on, that all of a sudden it is slowing down and some of that noise pollution is disappearing. So when it kind of mirrors what it is that you're saying that you're intuitively getting about the earth.
I love that. I had not heard that.
Wonderful. Yes, I had heard about the pollution. And I think if we can just look at it as that kind of opportunity, what a gift. I mean, because let's face it, we don't need our cars and our stuff if we don't have a planet.
Right.
So.
Oh dear, that was big, Peggy. That was big. So we've all got so much to be grateful for, and sometimes we forget that. But being grateful is a prayer all of its own. Just absolutely. Thank you, whoever your higher power is. Thank you. It goes back to the Ho'oponopono phrases, which are, I love you, speaking to the divine, and I'm sorry for whatever it is that I may have done that was displeasing to you, and please forgive me, and thank you. And the fifth one that has been added now, and Dr. Joe Vitale is bringing out a new book about the fifth one, is I'm forgiven by the divine. And I have added a personal one all by myself. I haven't talked to Dr. Joe about it. But the fifth one is I'm loved, because we know we want that love to be returned to us, that we give to that divine. So it rounds out the whole package. And I just adore Ho'oponopono. And if you don't know about it, look it up on Miss Google. You'll find all kinds of good information. It's a Hawaiian healing modality.
It's funny, Louise, that you are the third person that's mentioned that to me today.
No kidding.
today. Yes, and I'm aware of it. Yeah, I have been for a long time. But when something comes up 3 times in a row like that in one
Mhm.
day, I better go back and look at that.
Mhm.
Yeah, when I was driving back in the good old days when we could still go places, I would just drive down the road. I love you. I'm sorry. Please forgive me. Thank you. I can't sing, but I love you. I'm sorry. Please forgive me. Thank you. And I was clearing the way for my traveling, clearing the road, clearing other drivers, clearing whatever might be there that could harm me. It's just the beautiful phrases to incorporate into your mind so that you say them automatically. You don't even have to think about it. You're just saying them because it's in there and it's stuck. And it's a great thing to have in your head.
Absolutely.
Yeah. 3 times though, huh, Peggy? I
Yeah.
love that.
Today in one day.
Today.
Mhm.
It's important. Well, one more question from you, Marion, or observation.
Yes, I want to know just a little bit more about what we can expect at the expo here in Houston, and when is it, and
They
where can people get more information?
Well, the website is the wellnessexpo.net. So if they would go on to wellnessexpo.net, it'll talk about the 2 expos. They could go over and they can click on the Houston one, and it'll give them more information about what's going on. What you can expect is the lectures are usually fabulous, and it covers all kinds of topics. You will actually have nutritionalists that'll talk about nutrition. You will have chiropractors that'll talk about chiropractic care. You will have life coaches that'll talk about how you can change your life. I'm talking about channeling. So it's like we'll have someone talking about healing and different energy healing modalities as well. So it's like you're going to have a whole round of different people that are going to be giving lectures. And I think that they're also going to have 2 separate workshops in the evening that are going to be paid events as well, which are, I think they're 2-hour workshops.
Wow.
So it's just meeting like-minded people.
Exactly.
And it's about going in, and what's so fun, I think what was an eye-opening experience for me is everyone talked about Dallas being sort of this Bible Belt, okay? And like this,
I've heard that, yes.
like this woo-woo stuff just really wouldn't work in Dallas. And then you go in to talk about channeling, and there's 75 to 100 people, it's like 75 people in standing room only. All these, different chairs are filled up. And I'm like, well, it's not that big of a Bible Belt if we can pull this kind of group together.
Well, people are seeking different things. And I think one of the other things that people might not like to know about the expo is that people bring beautiful gift items to sell. And I
Right.
bet you do that too, don't you?
I used to. I now do aura photography at these events. And what I mean by that is I started to do aura photography at the Wellness Expo about 3 years ago here in Dallas. And what ended up happening is I didn't have time to sell any of the gifts because I was doing aura photography one after the other. So I turned around and said, I'm just going to bring the aura photography. I know that Spirit Quest has a booth there, so I'm sure they're going to be there selling, some of their wares that they bring there. And I'm sure you have people that make organite. It's everything you could possibly imagine. From nutrition, that's why it's called the Wellness Expo. It's from A to Z. It's about nutrition.
Yeah, that's what really people are really looking for, is a way to boost our immune system and stay healthy right now, right? That's a big one.
It's very important. At this particular juncture, it's really important.
Yes.
So you have people that would sell, say, herbs, or at least teach about herbs? Or?
They would talk about herbs, or they're herbalists and nutritionalists.
Oh, good.
So they'll talk. Essential oils is another big one that people will talk about that.
I have a whole collection of little oils that a friend of mine gave me. I don't know if you can see them or not. They're wonderful. And I have this little, what do you call these little things that?
Diffuser.
I have a diffuser, and it smells so good. I just turn it on, and yeah, it's wonderful.
They make you happy, don't they,
Yes,
Marion?
it calms me. It gives me pleasure, and it just smells so good. I love them. I love them. So that type of thing, anything that's going to make us feel good, you're going to find at the Wellness Expo. It sounds to me like.
Correct.
Yes.
There
And
was a gentleman I met at the Wellness Expo 2 years ago that was, he is a chiropractor and he does stem cell therapy.
Oh,
And
yeah.
I don't know if you've heard of the
Oh,
stem cell
I
therapy.
have.
He was fabulous. And I actually went and had the process done. I have never experienced anything like that before in my life. And what I mean by that is they take the stem cells, and it was through an IV. It done in his office. And what ends up happening is I always had these issues with my neck. I could literally feel like something was, up in my neck area. And then all of a sudden it was kind of like we did x-rays before and we've done x-rays after. And actually the disc in my neck started to regenerate themselves.
Wonderful.
Well,
Wow.
we're going to be able to find out about this and many, many more opportunities to not only connect with like-minded people, but also find businesses that you would like to connect with.
Right.
This has been the Wisdom Chats for the Curious. I'm sorry our time is up for today, but we'll just have to do it again, won't we, ladies?
Anytime.
All right. And normally we have Peggy Sue that takes us out with a meditation. So I'm going to ask Peggy to take us out now. It's going to be a little shorter than normal because we're having such a good time. But she's going to give us a little meditation and help us leave here feeling even better than before.
so we
Bye,
need to be out,
everybody.
we need to be
Bye.
out by 7:50.
7:45.
We're past that.
I know.
We'll do the meditation next
No,
week.
no. If you could just do a couple minutes instead of
Okay.
5, that would be awesome.
Okay.
No, we
Great.
need it. Thank you.
All right. Okay, well, let's do this.
Okay.
Do you have the graphic to put up?
I'm gonna put a nice little graphic
Okay.
up to
Thank
give
you,
us.
everybody. Thank you, Joy. I can't wait to see you in September.
I'll see you in September.
Love you.
Okay. All right. And while she's getting the graphic up, if everybody would just get relaxed and close your eyes and start taking deep breaths. And for this particular meditation, I'm going to ask that you breathe in deeply through your nose and exhale gently through your mouth. And focus on your breath. Make sure that your deep inhale matches your relaxed exhale so that you have the rhythm of inhale through the nose, out through the mouth. And just feel your body relax. We're going to feel that white light come in and surround and fill us. As we breathe it in, and then we breathe it out and we send it to each other. And then breathe in what I'm sending you, what everyone's sending you. And as we breathe it out, watch it, just see it. Leave on your breath, surround and fill the whole planet. Giving the planet a hug with this beautiful white light, saturating the planet, saying thank you for being our foundation. Thank you for this reminder that we need to take care of you. Breathe it in and exhale and feel that light come back from the planet in gratitude for acknowledging her. Breathe it in and exhale. And everybody, please take this energy with you into your sleep tonight. Think of the planet. Breathe her a kiss before you go to sleep. And feel her send her love back to you. I love you all. Good night. Until next time.